Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flick. Leftovers is back, season 3, episode 1, The Book of Kevin. Ben Mankiewicz, Jason Rubin, Brett Erlich, Alonso Duralde. Boy, could I have used some more previously on.
Yeah.
Jesus. And it wasn't a short previously on, I don't think. I was like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
No,
okay, I'm ready. Let's do this.
It needed,
what the hell?
it needed a Wikipedia season 2 read through.
Yeah, they did those. They did a couple of those. One for Lost, and they did one for Battlestar Galactica, where it's like a really quick,
Like a 10-minute
recap.
But because I don't remember anything that I've seen. I mean, you know, I can't remember movies I saw 3 weeks ago. So that was really challenging. I didn't remember that there had been an explosion. I didn't remember what I was vaguely like, oh yeah, bridge, Guilty Remnants. What was their point? What were the Guilty Remnants? But they didn't sabotage anything, right? That was just what?
I couldn't remember, were they just there to let people in? I'm sure the comments were like, how can you guys not remember?
And here's what it's compounded by. It's the fact that there's so much in the show anyway that you don't know, even if you remember everything that happened. There's so much moving mystery that it's hard to piece together what you don't know from what you don't remember.
That's right.
Were we never told this, or we just were told this and I didn't get it?
Or just how much of it was reality and how much was taking place in some fantasy.
Right,
Yeah.
is it an alternate?
In a parallel dimension.
Like we don't know. I mean, from the moment after Kevin put the bag on his head and used the duct tape, did there things after that happen?
This could all be.
Was the lake poisoned, or is that an alternate? Or was the lake fake poisoned? Or was that a trick? And if so, were the people who fake poisoned the lake part of the clever ruse to get Kevin into the water so they could baptize him?
Or
they didn't applaud.
Or
afterwards,
the fact that, well, they were all handcuffed, so that would have been tricky. But or is the fact that Kevin puts the bag on his head and doesn't die further proof of why they're writing a new Bible about him?
We don't know if he didn't die. We don't know if he's coming back every single time, or if he's going.
Or he just edges himself on the edge of death to feel alive, or go have that other world experience.
But they have that conversation with Matthew about like, I can die, right?
Like Kevin, that suggests that he's saying it suggests that he's not certain of it. And does he do it like she went off? Does he do it every morning he can? Right? Does he look for
every morning? He has at least dry.
He's got a lot of dry.
I do that. I choke myself every time I get a moment alone. But there's
That's another story.
I'm sorry. That was untoward. Yeah. So that's what did I like about last season that I didn't like about season 1? That's what this episode made me go and think, because season 1 I didn't like very much because it was just too much mystery,
too much I don't know.
Right. Not enough. And then season 2 was more like, oh, you're giving me things and interesting television.
Yeah, they were threading things through season 2, and also season 2 was not as relentlessly dour as season 1.
They laughed. I remember the first time they laughed.
Hope was starting to maybe creep back into these people, and so I mean, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing that season 1 was dour, but it was dour, and that made it.
Well, it's hard
to
expose us to that sort of.
There was a certain degree of dark comedy in season 2.
Yeah.
Where and again they kind of show that again in season 3. Like one of the scenes in this premiere, they're all sitting on the porch talking about when they were 25 years old, which is weird for a 25-year-old sitting in that exact moment. And you're watching that, and it's funny in a very dark way. So when they're having that, it just feels, it's like a relief that you're watching. It's how they cope with it.
So then really interesting television and putting together that we get this moment of levity from them all, where they're like, hey, look, this is normal life. This is what, and then Carrie Coon has that great line, guys talking about your penises, and then the next scene we get is, there's a little interlude of sex between Kevin and Carrie. I'm crossing over the actresses.
Nora
and Kevin. And then Kevin kills himself. Like it's, things are great. Okay, I'm good, I'm alone.
Well, it's right when it seems like things have gotten more normal.
It's funny because the music that was playing when he killed himself was like, what? It was like, it was a cheery song. It suggested it was
good at that.
And so my daughter, who doesn't really watch TV, although that's slowly starting to break down, but she was in the room, and I'm watching him in my office, and my wife comes in, and I was like, she's got to go. Like I'm on a time. I got to keep watching. I got 2 shows to watch here before, and so she got to leave the room. Something terrible's about to happen.
There's cheering music, the leftovers, hide the children.
Right. There's a cheery song happening. The leftovers, come on.
Now, I think the thing that one of the many things that we will be learning this season is Jarden / Miracle truly the Shangri-La that Matt says it is? Like, is Matt's wife and baby are they going to die or disappear the second they cross the city limits? Is Kevin, can he not survive?
Right, if he chokes himself in Mapleton, he's just a guy, just another cop who killed himself. Not to be pejorative about that, but there was that part of that drama too, when it looked like he was going to lay out his uniform. To do it.
We should also, I think, touch on the bracketing of material this season.
Yeah, very much.
Last season, remember, started with the cavemen and the earthquake and the water. So this time we have like a doomsday cult of the 19th century trying to predict the date of the end times and failing and failing and failing. And so,
but some people still believing no matter what.
Right, they still hanging on. And so this time we've got there's all this talk about we're approaching the 7th anniversary of the event. And so it's just this assumption now that in 13 days the world is going to end. And so there's the implication of we always think we know we're going to nail it down, but up till now we've always been wrong.
Right.
Also, 7 years after, there's a lot of significance there putting on the number 7 throughout that. I mean, religiously, I'm pretty sure.
In the Bible it pops up.
The Bible, but it's also 7 years exactly to when I think the series kicked off. They made a lot of callbacks to the first episode of season 1.
Oh, that's what they're saying. In 13 days is the 7th anniversary of the event. And the event, which actually, if you'll recall, I think took place a year before the show starts.
Yeah, that was the first anniversary, right?
Because I think we see the event happen, and then we cut to the congressional committee deciding they have no fucking idea why.
Right.
And then the end of this episode, we're in Australia, and we're thinking, this is what Scott Glenn is up to. He's raising doves and he's delivering them to a nun, and it's future Carrie Coon. What the fuck?
Yeah,
we think it's future Carrie Coon.
Well,
it's her.
Who is it?
No, it's her. I got it. I mean, but it's is it an alternate world or is it just the future?
Yeah, there's so
much. It's older Nora.
It's an older Nora in Australia capturing birds, and that's the way the fraudulent 1844 cult leader was
that's right.
Birds again, and there were birds last year that buried underground, right? Did the bird die with John's wife?
Right.
Who's not there?
The central.
Where is John's wife and where is Lily?
Right, and where's Lily? Where's the baby?
Yeah,
I don't know.
We're down 2 black people.
Well,
typical network television.
Well, no, but I mean, obviously that's a thing they're dangling at us that we're going to be talking about later. So.
It's just it's the shows we're talking about. Girls, I have a fuse for girls for how annoying they're going to be in a row before I'm like, stop it. This is that they did very well in season 2 of monitoring how much mystery they're going to pile on in a row without giving you something. And so the whole frame story of I get it. They were intentionally saying that people who believe they know the answer to the rapture are frequently, if not they're always wrong. And so at the end, they kind of undercut saying this Nora is in Australia. The wrongness, I at least can latch on to that that motif of a cult believing something and it being wrong, but I don't know.
So who watched Lost? Because I did.
I watched Lost.
And I know that people get annoyed with Damon Lindelof shows now because there's a lot of questions and no answers.
In Lost, there was a special island where the normal rules don't apply, and getting there, you're brought there by divine providence, it seems, and once you're there, you're protected, but there are the similar levels of if you die on the island, did you die before you got to the island to get on the island? Or do people who are on the island for the right reasons as opposed to the wrong right reasons, do they make it to the island's core store? And it's just level after level of just stop it already.
Because I forgave The Leftovers for a long time because people were getting all hung up on what caused the incident. And I was like, that doesn't matter. The incident is this sort of metaphorical kind of let's talk about 9/11 thing. But obviously that was season 1 and that was the book and that was the story. But now we've once after season 1, we were out of book, and so they could kind of make their own way, and so now they're seeding it with all these other bananas mysteries, and so.
But if you're watching The Leftovers to find out why the rupture happened, then you're watching it for all the wrong reasons.
Sure.
You're watching a show about how people deal.
You're not getting that answer.
You're never getting that answer, but that's also kind of been, I like Lindelof, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
So I didn't love Lost, but I think he's taking some of the things that made Lost good and doing a better.
Lost was brilliant, man.
I just didn't love it. It wasn't my.
But here's
because I think I agree with
you
you.
Were 11.
Yeah, but he can still watch it.
Second of all,
whatever. How old were you when all the movies you talk about on your channel came out, mister?
Thank you, sir. But no, I just feel like with.
Did you watch it at the time it came out?
No, I watched it in college. So
Lost.
Were you?
I did both.
I was just about to say extremely.
But a huge, by the way, it's just worth mentioning, really quick, that one of the huge problems with Lost was scheduling. I mean, the writer's strike came in the middle, but they don't run shows like this anymore. It was, and then it went down to 16, but they would take 6 weeks off between Thanksgiving and the end of the year. So you'd have these 4 episodes off for 7. Like, it was incredibly frustrating and massively hyped during February and May for sweeps. Like, that era of managing TV like that is, at least for the shows we do, is over. Like, Lost would now go 13 episodes,
and
then they
barrel right through,
and then they take a year off.
And they take a year off. Right.
But I was just talking about Lost with someone the other day, and I've watched it twice. I've watched the whole series twice, and I still don't remember. At the time I watched the finale, I was like, I'm pretty sure I get it.
I think I got it.
It immediately evaporates.
Yeah.
There's so many like little sub rules, and you can't remember. There's so many episodes.
Yes, but like all time travel alternate universe shows have that moment. I mean, if they're done well, you're like, but wait, then how? Basically, they were all dead, and they were waiting for everybody to die because they were all dead. That's it.
Getting back to the leftovers. So Lori continues. Lori continues to be really good at faking people out.
Yeah.
Like that's been her sort of post Guilty Remnant skill.
She's the world's worst con man. Like they don't take money.
Well,
they take the money because they need the people to believe they're paying for something of value,
right?
But they don't actually. Not only they don't give it to charity.
So is he shredding the money?
Yeah, shredding the money.
Okay, I wasn't sure about that.
Is that what's happening? Is they're baddie?
Yeah,
like they're just like.
Yeah, they're like making out in front of her ex-husband.
And maybe because he lost his daughter and all that stuff. Isn't that his daughter?
That's his daughter.
That's his daughter who
exploded.
Who we also got. That was also
no. His. Not the sheriff's, the other
John's
guy.
daughter.
John's daughter.
So
got
John
exploded by the
and
drone.
Lori are batty together because they've been through some weird stuff, and they're now just conning people for no good reason other than shits, comma, giggles.
No, I think I can't believe I'm on this side, but no, they're conning people because they see she was a therapist and a good one. They see value in, they made that guy feel better.
They're in the closure business.
They're in the closure business, and they want to give closure. And yeah, it's not true, and it's a scam. But I mean, they took $80 from him, and then they don't take it because that does change slightly the way you think about their con, that they're not getting rich off it.
It's the reverse Sawyer.
Donate it to charity or something.
I mean, it's better than.
Didn't you think that guy was going to be like the biggest star ever?
Yep.
Yeah,
it seems more effective than hugging the pain away.
It is more effective than hugging the pain away,
right?
right?
The hugging guy. Well, yeah, but Lily's that guy's son, right? Her daughter.
We have a. And where did we don't? So that's a mystery that we.
Yeah. Those things will come back. There's a lot that they covered in this episode. Just talking about the dog guy.
Well, right. Well, going back,
to the dog
that
guy.
was a major theme throughout the whole episode. It even started with him in that scene where they're shredding the money, where he makes the, I thought, pretty hilarious joke about how dogs have taken over human form and have infiltrated the presidency of the United States.
Right. Well, that was the argument that the guy. Oh, right. Yeah.
Because with the peanut butter sandwich.
But then he blew. Remember, that guy blew the dog whistle.
Yes.
Yeah.
To make sure that at least anybody at least around him probably.
But he wasn't trying to kill Kevin. Like, he would have shot him.
Sending a message.
I think he was going to talk. I don't know if he was going to. We'll never know because Tommy shot him. But I don't think.
When you say you've changed, usually you're about to just kill somebody.
Right, but I mean, he missed a lot.
Yeah, he might think you're now one of the dog people, you know.
Right. I don't know, but anyway, we'll never know.
And of course, on this show, there could very well be dog people. Like, let's not rule that out.
No, we got the dog taking the sandwich.
Taking the sandwich
out of the thing at the end. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I mean, here's what I'm certain of. If somebody who's never seen the show or heard about it just watches our review, here's what they're not going to do. Watch the left.
That's it. I still love this show.
I was ready to go, and then at the end, they just started talking about dog people.
It's weird, the Stockholm syndrome.
What about the nod to, I thought, the very first scene? Taylor actually pointed this out, one of the guys works here, we were talking about before, the nod to Gary Busey. There's a 60-foot Gary Busey
that's right.
Well, because
somewhere in LA.
He was mentioned in season 1 as one of the celebrities who was taken.
That's because I get the Pope. but Gary Busey? Why Gary Busey? He mentions that, and I was reading beforehand that was they originally wanted to do Anthony Bourdain as a 60-foot Anthony Bourdain to be taken, because that was actually part of the book. In the actual book, they talk about how like celebrity chefs were like something like, well, they can't make sense of it, the Pope and celebrity chefs. So they added in Gary Busey. It's not from the book. It was Lindelof, and the director's idea. Who was for episode 1?
Mimi Leader directed.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
How does the 9/11 thing hold up? Like the thing about 9/11, it's like the attack was for a reason on a like target that it's a bad, I hate it, tragedy, never again. But that made sense. It was very easy to wrap your mind around.
But think about it though. If you lost somebody because they happened to work in the towers,
right,
and they were killed because of this geopolitical thing that they had maybe no direct involvement in, that becomes this weird random tragedy, you know? And you could argue that
there were people that were like delivering sandwiches at the time.
And shared, like, and you know, most tragedies aren't shared by, you know, I mean, again, you this exponential number of people affected.
Yeah, and even if you didn't lose somebody in 9/11, it reshaped your thinking about the world and the safety of the world, or the safety of the United States.
You know, sometimes you ask a question and you get an answer.
Except on this show.
Except on this show.
Right,
but no, look, this is the last season, so
I mean, 8 episodes.
Yes, so we know they're not going to like give you a totally satisfying wrap up, but there's going to be a closure-y conclusion of some kind, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I
There's
think
something wrong with the like Kevin and Nora are not right together. Like it's not right. They're giving us these scenes and they look at each other and he gives a longing look. Maybe it's just, I think that they're good actors, so I think something is off. It's off in that.
I think they're lying to each other.
They're lying to each other, yeah, about something.
He's lying about the fact that he puts a bag over his head when she goes to lunch.
He's got a lot going on.
Is that going in the book of Kevin?
Yeah.
The bag part?
That was the book of Kevin.
Which he did set fire to, right?
No, we don't know.
We don't know.
He looks at it.
Okay.
He looks at it and then.
And he tries
That's
like
a lot.
really hard.
That's a lot of book there. I mean.
Yeah, and you at least take it out of like the leather cover, because you don't want to burn that. It's going to smell like hell. Anyway, so many more answers to be questioned. The other thing, and do join us for season 3 of The Leftovers. Thanks for watching.